Hello friends, a warm welcome to you all in this series of tutorial on Eclipse IDE. So what is Eclipse IDE and what can it be used for and how we can utilize Eclipse to the best? We'll be discussing all of this in this Eclipse tutorial. Now first of all, what is Eclipse? Now Eclipse is basically an integrated development environment, or IDE it is called as, and it can be used for many languages such as C, C++, PHP and Ruby, etc. And primarily it is used for Java language. And the Eclipse platform provides the foundation for the Eclipse IDE, and it is composed of plugins and is designed to be extensible using additional plugins. So Eclipse basically is based on plugins. Like you can use it for developing programs on C, you can use it for developing programs on C++, PHP and Android, etc. So if you have Eclipse and if you download the plugin for Android, then you can just start developing applications for Android using Eclipse. So it is basically based on concept of plugins. Now this Eclipse is basically developed using Java, and the Eclipse platform can be used to develop rich client applications, and it can also be used to design integrated development environments and other tools. Like Eclipse is itself a tool, and we can use it to develop more tools, and it can be used to design, like it can be used for developing web applications using Java. Like there are various technologies with which we can develop web applications, like we can use J2EE, we can use Hibernate and Spring's API in conjunction, and we can use struts, and like many more technologies are there with which we can just develop the web applications. And Eclipse is one of the tools in which we can just utilize or leverage the power of these technologies. And Eclipse can be used as an IDE for any programming language for which the plugin is available. As we discussed earlier, that Eclipse is based on plugins. So in Eclipse we have plugins corresponding to many technologies, and suppose in Eclipse we have a plugin for Android, we have a plugin like for any other technology, like suppose for our C++. Look, if a plugin is there for Eclipse, then it can be used for that language, as simple as that. Now we said Eclipse is an IDE. Now what is an IDE? So an IDE is basically an integrated development environment, or it is also called as interactive development environment. An IDE is basically a software application that provides comprehensive facilities to computer programmers like or developers like us, and for developing the software development. And an IDE normally consists of a source code editor, build automation tools and a debugger. Now I'll let you know what is an IDE. Now suppose if you are developing Java applications and you are running a sample core Java program, then what are all the steps that we have to follow? First of all, suppose we just take one text editor. Like there are various text editors available in the market, like suppose we use Notepad or Notepad++ or whatever. We'll first of all write a program in a text editor, and we'll just save it with .java extension. Then we'll have to generate a class file out of our .java file. Then for that, suppose we are running the program in command prompt, and to compile or to generate the class out of a Java file, we just simply say javac space, then we'll give the name of our Java file. Now suppose it's abc.java. So when we'll be doing this, at the output we'll be getting abc.class file. And again, to see the output or what the program is outputting, we just say java space our class file name. So this is the process which we follow. So here you can see, here For developing the code, you are using a text editor, and then again to checking its functionality, you are going to some other software like you are using some other application, that is command prompt. So there is some gap between this. So to bridge this gap, we have IDEs, integrated development environment, or interactive development environments. So in this IDE, we can just code and execute using a single software. Like Eclipse is an IDE. It provides us the facility of coding and executing using a same software. So which is pretty simple. So we don't have to just go ahead and write some code in a text editor and then go to some other application to execute it. And simultaneously, I'll give you one more scenario. Suppose you have 2 or 3 classes which you have written. Suppose this is class A, this is class B, this is class C, and if you are writing this all A, class B and class C using text editor, and then you are again using command prompt to run it. Now if there is some compilation error, or like suppose there is some other error, so you won't be able to recognize it until you just go ahead and run your program. So but in Eclipse, there is a facility of building the code. So Eclipse internally builds the code and it checks for all the compilation errors, and like you have your semicolon missing and any other errors. So there it gives very additional and informative information which we can utilize to the best, and we can develop the applications really easily. Okay, so this was an IDE